Hey traders, John Howell here. Today we're going to be looking at obviously the overall markets, but I've got something really interesting to share with you, and that is this. The stock market right now, we still haven't broken that low yet on the S&P and the Dow, so we haven't, remember we need a lower high breaking past previous lows. If you watched yesterday's video, you know what I'm talking about. We're still holding that double bottom right now. Are we going to break it or not? I'm going to share exactly what I'm talking about there, but also I want to share with you what's happening with the individual ETFs. I mean, like the home builder ETF or the financial sector, or the energy sector, which the energy sector is like number one, right? I'm actually in the energy sector myself. It's one of my best performer right now. So there's a lot of things that I want to share with you right now when it comes to these markets. And you know what? Let's get straight into it, guys. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, so let's get straight into it. You know what, guys? Today I am feeling generous. Why? Because firstly, I am just loving my trading. And so I'm going to be giving away my trading course for free. That's right, free. So if you guys need help, right? I normally charge for this course, but today I'm actually going to give it away for free. First thing in the description, there's 4 phases. Phase number 1, if you're struggling, you're making a lot of mistakes, you don't even know what the path is or the mistakes you're making, I promise. Phase number 1 is for you. If you're making a lot of mistakes, you don't even know what you're doing. Phase number 2, powerful chart reading strategy. Phase 3, my trading system. And phase 4, there's something really special there. It's called the STF, but you'll have to wait and see what that is. Again, you get it for free anyway. So very first thing in the description, go check it out right now, guys. I promise you, you're going to love it. If you are struggling in trading right now, guys, and you need help, I promise you that when it comes to understanding these markets, the path ahead, even if you're going through a rocky time right now, going backwards, promise you, just the very first phase is going to set you straight. So let's get straight into the markets right now. So yesterday I came out and I did a video and I said, you know what, guys, are we about to see this pullback happening here? And I said, we need to see a breaking of the low first, right? Because look at my charts here, okay? Let me actually bring this up here. Let me bring up the good old moving average. Let's make the moving average just a bit thicker. I'm going to put one simple moving average on here, right? And so look what's happening here. One simple moving average. So we're still in a sticky situation right now when it comes to the S&P and the Dow, right? So I'm going to get to this in just a minute. And the reason why I say that is because right now we're at a double bottom in the marketplace. What's going to happen next week? Now, guys, here's what my belief is, okay? Here's what my belief is in the current environment we're in right now. I believe that if we do, and who knows what happens in the markets, right? We may not even see the pullback, but if we do get that pullback, if we do break this double bottom, so right now we're looking at the marketplace right now, okay? We're looking at these S&P 500 charts. We're looking at the last 6 months worth of data, right? Data. Which one is it, guys? Is it data? Is it data? Data? No one, my daughter, no one's dating her, I tell you that. You'll get it. Right? So look what's happening through here. So what do we have here? We have a good old 1 support, 2 support, right? So we have a double bottom. Remember I said yesterday, right? We need to see a breaking of that low to confirm that we're probably likely to see that pullback. We didn't actually get it. Now, I was thinking yesterday, we're probably going to get a follow through yesterday, but we didn't. We actually held the bottom. But we're not out of the woodworks yet, right? Remember, we need in an upward trend, we have higher highs and higher lows. In a downward trend, we have a lower high, but we need to break past previous lows here. If we can get that, it's now downtrending, and then we're likely to see that pullback I was talking about yesterday. But the market actually held strong here. So it's going to be really interesting. Do we break the double bottom? If we break that double bottom, then we're going to see that waterworks free fall in the market moving into next week. And if we don't, then it's going to be, you know what? We're probably not even going to see that 10% pullback. Maybe the 5% pullback is going to be it. So we're not out of it's right now on the short term, bumpy road. Now, here's what I say. Regardless of what happens over the next week or two, pullback or not, I still see a November and December crazy move to the upside to come. Right now, next few weeks, it's very You know, we may just go sideways for a bit, right? We may go through a pullback. They may pass that 3.5 trillion and say, pullback, here we go, away we go, right? So it's very, 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 now this is just the S&P 500. If we go have a look at the Dow Jones is doing what? The exact same thing on the good old DJ, or as they call them, the diamonds, right? The diamonds. Look what we have here, right? So we had this significant support level here. Remember I said before we need a breaking of this low. We made this low. We need a breaking of this low right here for it to confirm the downtrend. And I thought in yesterday's big down bar, I'm like, you know what? We're probably going to see some more movement on the downside to follow through. We actually held strong, but we're not out of the woodwork yet, right? Because we've got this lower high. For this potential downward trend, which hasn't confirmed yet, we need a breaking of the low. For this potential downward trend to actually confirm, we need the breaking of that low below 33,600. Again, I was saying that stuff yesterday, right? But we're not out of the woodwork yet. Now, if the market says, you know what, screw that, you know, lower high. Who cares about your lower high, mate? We're out of here. We're out of here to the upside. If we start to break above 35,000 on the Dow, if that happens, whoa. I don't have to the moon mug with me right now. So to the moon, right? And same with the S&P 500. Well, that's the XJ. I'm going to get to that in just a minute, right? And same for this one here, right? We have a look at, let's go to last 3 months here. We can see this last line right here. That's that lower high. And remember, we're at a double bottom situation right now. Which one wins? Do we break the low? If we break the low, the downtrend confirms, and we're likely to see a pullback, a much more of a deeper correction. If we don't, and then we break above 4,460, guess what? No crash coming, right? No, X marks the spot, right? And this is the beauty about trading. One of the hardest things about trading that most people have is the idea of the market saying something today, and a week later, it could be saying something completely different. So right now, it says, you know what, we're starting to roll over here. We could be getting ready for a move to the downside, right? And then suddenly it says, market says, move to the downside. Ha, Johnny, what do you think you know, mate? And suddenly it forms a double bottom, and then we start to make a big move up, and before you know it, it's now continuing that big move to the upside. So always be flexible in the markets. And if you don't see any really good solid setups that you believe in, don't take them. Simply don't take the trade. Now, if you do take a trade and you know you're in it for a day or two, and you know, like, this is just not the trade I know I should be in, I should be out of the markets and waiting for a much better setup, then just get out, right? No story. One of my earliest mentors taught me this. He said, you know what, John? If you're in the markets right now and you have to create this, if you have to create all this story of why you are staying in the markets, and not, well, the plan that I got into the market says this, so that's my plan, so I'm sticking to that plan. A lot of people, this guy here, right, in the past anyway, have done, you know what? Well, I'm going to stay in this because of, and we can spend half an hour, right, talking about story. And you know what my earliest mentor said? He said, oh, you see what you're talking about right now is a whole bunch of bullshit, right? And I'm like, what'd you say? He said, yeah, it's a whole bunch of BS, right? Story equals BS. If you're in a trade and you have to come up with some story about a moving average or indicator, and you're in doubt with this position, just get out. If you're at a 5% loss, 10% loss, even a 20% loss, a 20% loss is so much better than a 100% loss or a 50% loss. If you had a 20% loss and your plan says you're now getting a bit of doubt, there's no problems getting out, resetting your emotions and your state, and then coming back, especially right now, right? Because it's the weekend, so it gives you a chance to sort of go away and come back in May. Actually, May already came and gone. Selling May go away. Maybe they're coming back today. Oh, man, I got the rhymes today. Oh, I'm having a good old time here. Wow. Selling may go away. They may come back today. Anyway, so I'm having a good old time here, guys. Right now, it is just after 8 o'clock in the morning. It is here in Sydney, Australia. Things are starting to slowly open back up. I'm sure you guys overseas have heard about the boys in the blue and the boys in green on the streets. Well, guess what? It wasn't, even though that was happening, right? The martial law and all that sort of stuff here in Sydney, right? I'm in Sydney. Even though that was all happening, guess what? It wasn't as bad as the news makes it out to be, right? Remember, the news is there to startle you. So if they say, "Oh my goodness, the boys in the green on streets," it's not like and there's so many, all these stuff out there, right? Oh my goodness, they're going to come around to all the doors and they're going to forcibly vaccinate you and all that sort of stuff. They never did that. I was in one of the hot spots, right? So like constrained, I can't 5 kilometers, I can't go out of my 5K radius and all this sort of stuff. And yes, the police were going around the streets, but there was only for a week or two that the police were going around knocking on doors to make sure people are home. But it wasn't as worse as you think overseas, right? Like, and here's what I truly believe. This is what I learned from Jim Rohn, right? And this also goes with your trading as well too. Okay, just understand there are cycles to your life, and there are cycles to your trading. Sometimes you're going to be trading and things are just on for you, right? Things are clicking, things are happening, things are moving, things are on. That's called the spring and summer period, right? And then every now and then you're going to go through what we're going through right now, which is what? It's called the winter season. The winter season is when there's so much conflict and all this sort of stuff, and it's probably going to continue on a little bit more. But guess what? We're slowly exiting the last couple of years of what we've actually been through on the other side. And there's so much abundance and amazing opportunities out there. And never think there's lack of. There's never a lack of. We can always get more of whatever you want, right? Want more money? Go out there and get it, right? You want more of whatever, right? Just go out there and get it. There's never a lack of anything in life. And so as we go through these lives, right, that life is pretty amazing. It really is. And I'm saying that from a person right now, guys, and I'm saying it in the middle of where my mother has just been confirmed the good old CV, the cough situation. She's got it, and then my dad's got it as well too, and brother as well too, and they're actually not doing too well. But I'm saying this in the midst of all this, that even in the midst of all this, guys, it's so important to try to put aside and try to look at life as the beauty in life. And that one day, just the acceptance, I think just the acceptance that my mum and dad are eventually going to pass away one day. I'm still surprised my mum's still alive to this day, because she defies all logic when it comes to health. So I'll just keep it at that. But I'm saying what I'm saying right now, guys, in the mix of a lot of things just not working out well for me right now. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of things. A lot of things are working out well for me right now. I'm kicking butt, taking names in finances, business, trading, and so on and so forth. But when it comes to, the other side of stuff, it's so important for me to say, you know what? Even if this is my mum's time to be up right now, I need to be grateful for the blessings and everything that I've been in my life because of her. Because at the end of the day, just the acceptance of life that one day I'm going to pass away, my kids are going to pass away, my mum's going to pass away. And even though saying that makes me like, wow, it brings it back to, just appreciation for what was in our lives at that time. But if something was meant to be in our life, it would still be in our life. If something has served its time in our life and now no longer is in our life, maybe it's a loved one, maybe it's a friend, or maybe it's a passing of a family. That was designed. That's now exiting your life because there's no more need for that. The reason why they came into your life and stayed in your life was for that reason. And so it's always important to try not to hold on to things that have done their time, even though it's painful, right? Even though it's painful. And so I'm talking about that with my mum and dad, but I'm also talking about that with your trading. What are you holding on with your trading right now? Maybe it's a thought, maybe the way you're approaching these markets, maybe it's just not valid anymore. Maybe the way you're thinking about trading is not valid and you need to find some truths around the markets and becoming self-sufficient in a way of what are the important things that I need to do in order to be a good trader? You know what I mean? And so and understanding that, and a lot of it for me was letting go of old beliefs and old things in my life that were stopping me from living the life that I was born to live. And so I encourage you guys, in the midst of me doing this market update for you, I encourage you that, one, just continue to try to look for the blessings in life, because those who have more will be given to you. And yes, I do the market updates, and yes, I love my trading, and yes, I love these markets. I've been doing it for 17 years. It's the greatest gift of my life, because where I grew up from, guys, you know, I was a fat kid. Secondly, I had ADHD, and thirdly, I couldn't read or write. I actually learned how to read or write after school. And I always had problems, like even my mum used to tell me that she used to put paddle pop sticks on the table to try to get me to understand maths, and I couldn't even understand that. I was always about, give me a sports ball and let me go outside and kick the football around, or a cricket bat, right? Or tennis ball or handball, you know what I mean? Like something physical. But when it came to school, I was just never like that. And so when it comes to these markets, it's been one of the biggest blessings in my life. Yes, it's been a lot of tough times, and no, trading's not easy. It really isn't. And the hard part is, the easy part is figuring out a system that works most of the time. The hard part is doing nothing but trade that. If you can do those two things there, find a pattern, a setup that works most of the time, and then do nothing but trade that. Those two things together makes you an amazing trader. But the first part's easy. Here's the setup. Don't do anything but from that. The second part's hard, right? What if there's no trade for a whole week? And then suddenly you start to trade a story around the reasons why you're taking trades. So we all go through these circles and these times in life, right? But as what's happening with my mum and dad and my family right now, and as I look back at my life of people that have left my life, or I've had to leave them, it's all happened for a reason, right? And one of the best things I've learned from Oprah Winfrey, and again, guys, I know this is about trading, but you know, if you don't like this, you can always turn it off and you can go somewhere else, right? I'm just giving you guys a bit more. What I'm doing right now, guys, is it's a weekend right now for me, and I'm opening up a bit more about me and my personal life, so you guys get to know me more. You know what I mean? Leave a comment below and let me know if you like this sort of stuff as well too, right? I do a lot of trading and technical analysis, but right now I'm also opening up a bit more about me and my life. And then guess what? Then I'm going to continue to get back into more of the charts as well too. But just understand that listening to your heart is one of the most powerful things that I can say, even though it requires you to do the hard things, like letting go of friends, or letting go of loved ones, or letting go of people that you know inside your heart that you have to disconnect from this person, because there's more out there to life, there's something else out there for you to experience, to do. And there's something else calling for you. You don't know what it is yet, but there's something else there. I don't know about you guys. I don't know, you know, let me leave a comment below and let me know what you think, if you've ever had that time, right? But I've always had these feelings that, okay, these people in my life, friends that have been with me for 15 years, 7 years, I've had to let go, because my heart is saying that I have to let that go to create the space and to go out there and experience more, because there's more out there to life that is waiting for me right now. And I don't know why, but the universe is telling me I need to go experience this. I don't know. I don't even know what it is, right? Sometimes I got to go experience something. And that's where like I go do crazy stuff. I abseil down 30-meter cliffs. I do skydiving. I go on jet fighter planes and so on and so forth, right? I do this stuff out there because I know that the universe is telling me there's more out there to life than than what's experiencing right now. And again, it's just that internal feeling, right? Like, this is hard to do. I don't want to let go of this friend, but I feel like that being around this person is stopping me from progressing to the life that the universe has planned for me. And the more I push and force against it, the more things are not flowing to my life. But the more that I do that hard thing, like letting go of friends, even though they're not bad people, but letting go of friends to create the space, to create the freedom, and to keep moving forward, then the universe continues to put these things in life. And that's always happened with me as well too. I've always been one to not stay in the same place for a long time, because I've always wanted to go out there and just experience things and see things and do things and experience new things. Like, if I'm at a gym for a couple of years, I'm off to the next gym because I want to, meet new people, experience new things, and so on and so forth. So, anyway, I'm not sure why I went off that tangent, guys, but take what from what you can from that process. I guess the big thing in life, guys, is as my mum and family members are going through what they're going through right now, this stuff that matters, right? This stuff that really, really matters in our life. It's not, trading, yes, and successful trading and so on and so forth, right? But the big thing that I really have learned is that at the end of the day, acceptance of what is coming. One day my family and everyone is going to turn to dust. So I think just come to acceptance of that also helps me come to more of a grounded process. But also understanding that everything happens for a reason in our life, and we could never understand, but we could just have faith that it obviously happened for a reason, and we just gotta have faith that it's happening for the best of us moving forward. And really looking at the life, something I learned from Trumpy, and some of you guys don't like Trumpy, right? One of the things I learned from Trumpy is that is this a blip or is this a catastrophe? Some things in life, or a lot of things in our life, is just a little bit of a blip, right? And it's not really a big deal, but we make it a big deal, right? With big steam, purple undies on the floor, big steam, right? But in the mix of it, a lot of things out there are just not a big deal as well too. So let's actually, one thing I want to share with you guys, let's actually get back to the charts now. So one thing I want to share with you right now when it comes to these markets here, or these charts, is look at this here. Look at this home builder index, right? So if I look at this home builder index and I let's actually go to the weekly charts. Look what's happening here on the home builder index. We're just really in this sideways range through here, really just going sideways. So it's going to be interesting to see what ends up happening through this period through here when it comes to, again, the home builder index. We have actually broken down below that, haven't we? Interesting. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But look at this here, guys. Check this out. Look at the financial sector. This is the weekly chart on the financial sector. This weekly chart on the financial sector has been one big crazy bull market, right? And you can see we're having a nice... What is that? Wrong tool. Some people say, John, you are a tool. I'm like, I know, it's okay. Come on, you tool. You just spent a whole bunch of time talking crap. Get to the charts. So anyway, so we're getting a lot of sideways range, but look at this here, guys. We're actually looking quite strong. A lot in the financial sector is holding up really strong, right? We have a low, we have a high low, and now we're getting another higher low through here as well too. So we could be getting a nice breakthrough here very soon, but the financial sector is actually holding very, very strong. Let's actually go to the energy sector. Look at the energy sector move. Again, guys, I'm actually in the energy sector right now. Look at the daily charts. Really just picking up. I'm actually in Oxy. So the stock that I've been in for quite some time actually is Oxy. I'm still in it right now. I see this being a $40 or $50 stock, a minimum of $40 stock by the end of this year. But just by looking at, if I zoom out my weekly charts, you can see I have this support level here, that's how I got the 40. But if we start to really overshoot that, which we possibly could, then the next support level is probably up at that major resistance over there. If I take that off, you can see how I got this, and see how I got that 45 to 50 level there. That's where probably Oxy is probably likely to make its headway up. But I got in down the bottom here, so my options up about 100% or more right now. So my Oxy trade is doing really, really well. And this is what I say about trading, right? I could have a couple of losses, a 13% loss, a 20% loss, and then have just one really good win like this, 100% profit. And probably by the time this finishes, it's going to be a 300 or 400% profit, maybe more. And, you know, winner, chicken dinner. So that's what I'm looking through there. But you can see the energy sector is really just holding strong. We had a little bit of a false breakdown, but now we're actually holding strong to the upside. So we're getting a lot of that. If I go back to the transports, if you guys remember, I talked about the transports, about you know, it holding this long term. You can see on the transports here, we're holding a long-term major support level, and we're still holding that right now. We've had a bit of a pullback. We're coming down. Okay, we're coming back down to the support level, and now we're bouncing off that, and now we've got this sort of small trend line coming down to the downside. If indeed, burp. I don't know whether that was a green drink burp, a lemon burp, or a coffee burp, but anyway. So we can see here, guys, look what's happening. We have a low point through here, right? Low. This could be a slight little higher low. If we start to break up and out through here, guys, then it's going to be pretty powerful. And again, and if you watched yesterday's video or the day video before, I was talking about this here. So we just got to be really watching to see whether if we do start to get a nice, good, strong yeehaw bar. A yeehaw bar. There you go. Just wait for the yeehaw bar, guys. You'll be fine. Yeehaw bar. If we get a yeehaw bar, then it's probably going to be really, really, really good in the markets through there. So that's what I want to cover with you today, guys. Across the markets, I could just keep going on and on and on with this here, but I'm going to finish it up there. Guys, give me a yeehaw bar in the link in the description. If you're my 3%er, you'll watch this video right now. So give me a yeehaw bar in the comment section below, and that shows me you my 3%ers. And I want to finish off with this story here, guys. No matter what is happening in your life, no matter where you are at in your life right now, that things can change, but the expectations of time must be met. And knowing that it may take you time, but you are going to get there. But you are going to get there only if you continue to bring out the truth of what is going on. And that's what's going to bring you happiness. Let me explain what I mean here. When I was absolutely flat, dead broke, I was catching a train to work, making $400. This is about 17 years ago now, right? Probably a bit longer than that. Catching a train to work, earning $400 a week, having no car, washing cars for a living. And then I started getting into the stock market. And then I started going through a lot of rough times, blowing up trading accounts, saving money, putting into the account, blowing it up, saving money, putting in the account, blowing up, saving money, blah, 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 right? All that sort of stuff. And the one thing that kept me going in the markets is knowing that even though I'm going through a tough time right now, I know I'm going to get there. It may take me a good couple of years. Heck, it may take me 4 or 5 years to get there. But I'm going to get there. And so, but the only way I'm going to get there is if I keep being 100% honest with myself in what is going on in my trading right now. Am I being consistent with, am I actually even following a trading setup? If not, we need to go there. What is a good trading setup, right? There's thousands of good trading setups out there. Just pick one. Because it's not about the trading setup that matters the most. It's your consistency with that trading setup that matters the most. Most people are just looking for reasons to jump in because this guy gave you a tip, all that sort of stuff, right? Where if you don't handle yourself in, okay, I want to get into a trade, but there's no trades that meet this rule, that's always the hardest thing. So if you're going through a tough time in your trading right now, know that one, this is normal and the market is going to slap you around harder than anything you can handle. But those who can come down to reality of what they are doing to cause that and take responsibility and say, okay, what am I doing to cause this? Because I'm the one that's obviously clicking the button. It's not the market that's getting me, right? I'm the one that's clicking the button. I'm the one that's getting in these setups. I need to figure out the truth right now, and then I need to go again. And then you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and I need to go again. And then you're going to make a lot of mistakes, right? And it's a perpetual circle towards your goals. So one thing that has always kept me on the happy side and smiling and laughing is even though I go through my tough times and I go through my periods in life, that I'm always looking to where I'm going, and I know that I'm going to get there. It may take me time. It may take me years. But guess what? A 5-year successful trading journey, by me continually every single week and every single month continuing to look at what I'm doing and monitor it. Am I trading a setup? Am I being consistent at setup? What's the setup look like? Etc. 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 Right? Record what I call recording, reviewing, and improving. Record every single trade in a spreadsheet, review it, and improve it. What are the patterns? What are the stop losses? What are the managements? What are the profit targets? You get better and better and better doing that, right? A 5-year or even a 10-year long drawn out. Let me ask you a question. If it took you 10 years to become an incredible and amazing successful trader, is that 10 years a better plan than a 40-year broke ass, end up broke and overweight job? That's the way I want you to think about it, right? Now, you don't have to take 10 years. But even if it did take you that long, you got to think about that is what has always kept me in trading. Even though I go through my times when I'm just like, man, I totally screwed up on that trade. Idiot. Right? I go through those periods as well too. But with you, I want you to realize that where you're going, what is your vision? Right? What is your vision? Now, I have a vision for me of where I'm going with my trading and so on and so forth. And I know what I'm doing with that. Right? So I keep looking to that vision. So even if I go through a couple of losing trades right now, I keep looking to that vision and I keep saying, okay, what do I need to learn right now? Is there something small I need to learn right now in these losing trades that's going to continue to keep moving me forward? Maybe the trades I took right now had nothing to do with that successful trading plan that I know that works, right? Because in the markets, for me, there are trading setups that if they come around, they are screaming like 95% success rate, right? Massively successful when they do come around. Maybe I take trades that don't meet those plans, and so no wonder I don't go moving forward with those. You might be in the same boat, right? And so in the middle of it, I keep looking to that future, and that's what keeps me happy because I know I'm going to get there. Sometimes I just don't know how long, right? Sometimes it might take me 12 months. Sometimes it might take me a couple of years, but I know I'm going to eventually get there because in the mistakes, and while I be completely honest with myself, it's like, okay, what am I doing? How am I approaching the market? How am I trading the market? What am I doing? What's my risk? What's my reward? How am I managing these trades? Where's my stop loss? All these different questions. What is the setup I'm looking at? All these different questions you ask yourself, you'll start to see that over time that you start to create, there's these patterns that you do again and again and again. If you can stop doing these patterns that cause you to go backwards, then you can move forward, right? And that's where, like I tell all my private clients, to record every trade in a spreadsheet, put every single trade into a spreadsheet, and then you can look over it from a 10 or 20 trade year view, 10 or 20 trade view, and then you can say, okay, then what am I doing here right now? Is there any repetitive patterns that I'm doing right now that's actually stopping me going forward? Or what are the things that actually are working for me right now? Let's actually look at these trades. Let's look at the last 10 trades. What really worked? What didn't work? Are the things that I'm continuing doing right now that is causing me to go backwards? What were the patterns? What were the things that actually helped me move forward? And when you start to break it apart like that, you can make massive, massive, massive progress in your life. So in your trading right now, if you are doing it tough, you can get to where you want to go. Firstly, I hope you do actually have where you want to go in life. If not, well, where are you going? It's like, well, John, I'm just here to make money. Well, okay, how much? What is that number for you? I'd like to make $1 million. Okay, you've got $2,000 in your trading account. Let's actually let's actually bring it back down a bit more. Okay, let's actually start to build up a bit more. $1 million, yeah, maybe it's going to take you 10 years to get there, right? But let's actually bring it down to something small. Let's actually bring it to something where it might take me a while, but I can get there. Let's start with 50 grand, right? 50 grand, or 100 grand, right? Let's actually start there. But then it's not good to actually just have that goal. it's important every single day, right? You continue doing that work on yourself, which is just being completely and 100% honest with yourself. And that where slowly and surely, every month, every quarter, every year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, imagine where you're going to be a year. Imagine if you did that. Imagine where you're going to be 10 years from now. You're going to absolutely crush it.